Knowing how to validate yourself is not needing for someone to choose you in order to feel worthy of being loved. It's not needing to receive recognition all of the time to know that you are good enough to start the business, good enough to be in a loving, healthy relationship. Self-validation is your ability to trust in your own thoughts, your own feelings without the external validation. It's not needing to hear things from other people or to experience them from other people to know that they are true. When you know that you're capable enough, that you're strong enough, that you're wise enough, that you are deserving enough, deserving of love, deserving of money, of success, of abundance, of whatever it is that you desire. When you know that you are worthy of all of this, you don't let what people say or what they do make you feel less than, make you feel less worthy. And being able to validate yourself is also not seeking for proof of your worth through other people, through their opinions. The only real way to validate yourself is through self-acceptance. You need to have an unbreakable mindset and view and belief of who you are. You need to learn to accept yourself for the pretty, the ugly, the parts of you that you like, the parts of you that you don't like, and all of which you are. It starts there, so that when people have their personal opinions about you, when someone doesn't choose you as their partner, or even when you don't get your dream business deal, you don't start questioning your worth. You don't start questioning if what they're saying about you is true, if you're worthy of that position, if you're skilled enough, if you're ready, or if you're deserving of a good partner. You validate yourself by knowing that you don't need other people's approval of who you are. You don't need their approval to be yourself, to do the thing, or to make the right decision for yourself. If you get a cringy feeling after you post something on Instagram, maybe because you posted something that isn't a popular opinion, or maybe you post something about yourself where you feel like you're going to be perceived in a wrong way, like people are going to judge you, and then you feel like maybe you shouldn't show that side of yourself, that is because you are seeking for external validation. You need for others to approve of what you think, of how you look, of what you're posting. And this is a problem, because as long as you like yourself, as long as you're okay with believing in that unpopular thing, as long as you're okay with that cringy side that you have, who the heck cares? As long as you like yourself, no one else's opinion about you, about your life, about your choices, about your preferences should matter. And what this really takes is being obsessed with yourself. You need to be so obsessed with yourself that other people's opinions are not going to make you question yourself. They're not going to break you down. You need to learn how to self-center, and you need to know your worth. And this is how you can build self-worth and also become more obsessed with yourself. The very first thing, which I already mentioned, is just accepting yourself. Like I said, you need to start there. You need to accept yourself for who you are in and out, the good and the bad. The second best thing that you can learn to become more self-centered and to validate yourself is to be independent, and not just on a materialistic level, not just being able to live on your own and to provide for yourself, although that's great too. I'm talking about being independent mentally and emotionally. You don't always need to run to your best friend or your support system, whoever it is that you trust, when you get triggered, when something happens, when you need to make a decision. You don't always have to run your ideas, your thoughts, whatever it is that you're concerned about, whatever decision it is that you need to make, however it is that you're feeling in that moment, by someone else. You don't always have to wait for them to tell you how to feel, how to act, and what choices to make. Because again, then you're seeking for someone else to validate you and your feelings. And I say this because this is something that I would do all of the time with my best friend. There is not a single thing that I would not run by this girl. It could be the person that I just met. It could be an opportunity that presented itself to me. It could be a comment that I got on a video. I mean, every single thought I would share with her. And yes, it's okay to have a support system. It's okay to trust in people and listen to their advice, to their guidance, to their perspective. That's great. But not when you rely on it. Not when you can't be independent enough on your own to regulate yourself on your own. Oh, and this is something I would do a lot with her. As soon as I got triggered, as soon as something happened, and my emotions were through the roof, guess who I was running to calm me down? My best friend. Until I started noticing this pattern, and I said, okay, I'm really happy that I have her there and that I have the option to go to someone, but I also need to know how to handle things myself, because you also need to know how to trust yourself enough. You should just know that you're right without needing someone to tell you that you're right. You know that person did you wrong. You know you're good enough to be chosen by someone. Heck, I mean, hello, they would be so lucky to get in a relationship with you. If your job can't see your their worth, it is simply because they don't know how to recognize a good employee. If you know you do what you're supposed to be doing and showing up in the way that you should be showing up, then you need to trust yourself before anyone else. And you're probably thinking, well, how do I become independent? You become independent by pouring into yourself. You become independent by taking yourself out on solo dates, by doing things on your own. It's just by spending quality time with yourself. It's by becoming your own best friend. I have an entire video in which I tell you exactly how to do this, how to date yourself, how to deeply connect with yourself, how to become independent, how to become self-obsessed. So I'm going to link it up here and also down in the description below for you to check out. But really, being independent emotionally, mentally, physically, materialistically, whatever level, it's simply relying on yourself for comfort, for understanding, for validation instead of someone else. That's it. I'm going to give you a personal example of how I used to seek validation outside of myself through YouTube. The only way that I would feel like I was actually wise enough, like I was actually a good leader, and like I was adequate to speak on the things that I speak about on this channel was depending on the amount of views, likes, and comments that I would get on each video. If I didn't get the views, the likes, the comments that I thought I should be getting to confirm, to validate that I'm good enough, I would sometimes feel like maybe I'm not meant for this. Maybe this is not the path I should be on. Maybe I'm not ready. And these numbers do not determine my worth at all. I just haven't fully found my community yet, and it's a process. That's gonna come. So I had to learn to detach myself from these numbers and know that I am ready for this, that I am wise enough, that what I'm sharing is helpful, because it is. I know it is. You shouldn't need for someone to compliment your outfit to know how good you look in that outfit. And yes, the compliment is nice, but it's about not needing it to know it. Compliments should just be a bonus. It should be a plus. It should just be something that you already know, not your permission to feel beautiful, because you know you're already beautiful. If someone doesn't commit to you, if someone doesn't text you back, you should still know who the you are. That shouldn't take away from how special you know that you are. It shouldn't make you feel any less worthy of being chosen by someone. It shouldn't make you question what is wrong with you or if you're too much. If somebody doesn't choose you, if they ghost you, if they don't text back, it simply means that that wasn't your person. The point is that in order for you to validate yourself, you first have to build a strong foundation with yourself. You need to start pouring into yourself, if not more than what you pour into others. Start decentering other people and start centering you. The people pleasing has got to stop. I mean, how can you even begin to self-validate when you can't even say no to other people and their needs? You keep being there for them at the expense of your own needs. And this is also a form of seeking for external validation. I know that what you do for other people genuinely comes from your heart. It's who you are. But always being available, always being super nice, always putting other people first also gives you some sort of external validation because you're seeking for the approval of them. Subconsciously, there could also be a part in you that is like, okay, if I'm this nice, if I'm this pleasant, if I'm this available, if I'm this giving, they're going to like me more. They're going to love me more. I'm going to get their approval of me more. I'm going to convince them that I am worthy with everything that I do for them. It's like you're going above and beyond to prove that you are good enough. And you need to stop trying to prove your worth and instead start remembering your worth. And mind you, people do this all of the time, even with the amount of money that they want to make. They think that the harder they work, the more that they do, the more money they're gonna get. And this is also how a lot of women fall into their masculine energy, because they have this approach of forcing, because they have this approach of needing to prove themselves. When in reality, you're just supposed to receive. You're supposed to allow. You're supposed to just be. Your essence alone is magnetic. Your essence alone is enough. And isn't it crazy how much we love those that we care about? They could mess up. They could do us wrong. They could be weird or do something that we don't really like, yet we still love them. We're still there. We still show up. The moment we do something cringy, the moment we do something we regret, we start judging ourselves. We start invalidating ourselves. If you're the type of person to plan the date, to make the day super special, and that you're always there, no matter the time, no matter the day, we go above and beyond to impress everyone else, but not ourselves. And this is why decentering people is also so important. You need to have balance. You need to also prioritize you. So decentering people is really simple. It's about about pouring into yourself as you do with those that you deeply care about. Just start showing up for yourself in the same way that you do for other people. Specifically, emotionally, mentally, and when you're going through a rough time, when you're starting something new, when you're afraid of doing that thing. Be your own cheerleader, be your own supporter. And of course, this would not be a video from me if I didn't give you practices and journaling prompts. So here you go. And don't worry, it's gonna be simple. What I want you to start practicing after this video is to start reassuring yourself. In that moment when you feel triggered, when you feel like you're not good enough, or like you're seeking for external validation, in whatever form this may be, I want you to start reminding yourself that you are worthy and that you are enough right in that moment. It could be after that text that somebody sent that you don't like, or after somebody left you unread. It could be after somebody makes an unnecessary comment about your body weight or about the way that you look. It could be after somebody says that you can't articulate yourself well enough, or that you're not smart enough, or whatever. In that moment, reassure yourself. If they didn't text you back and now you're feeling anxious and wondering why they switched up, wondering if you did something wrong, remind yourself that you are not the problem. Remind yourself that this doesn't mean that you aren't good enough to be chosen. When you're getting imposter syndrome and you feel like you're not ready for that next step in your career because you weren't skilled enough, so you go and ask your friend if you should go for the next position, remind yourself that you have learned things in the past that you weren't skilled in and then became skilled in, and you can definitely do it again. Be your own little mentor and affirm yourself. I am capable. I am enough. I am worthy. I am deserving. I am the bomb.com. Just remember that beliefs are just things that we tell ourselves over and over, and you can use affirmations and reassurance to create new beliefs about yourself. And okay, I just have 2 journaling questions for you this time, okay? It's just 2 simple things. The first thing I want you to ask yourself is, why do I seek external validation? Why is it that your own belief isn't enough? For example, your own belief of how pretty you look, your own belief of how good you can be at something. Why is that not enough? Why is it that in order for you to believe it, someone else has to tell you those things? Or why is it that even if they do tell you, you don't really believe it? And journaling question number 2 is, how can I start validating myself on a daily basis? I want you to write down ways in which you can start implementing more self-validation. I want you to figure out where you need it most. Is it that you notice that you seek for external validation mainly in your love life? Or is it the amount of money that you attract? Is it the opportunities that you're attracting? Is it the people that you're attracting? Is it with how confident and how beautiful you feel about yourself? Like maybe you don't believe that you can make $20,000 a month. Maybe you don't believe that you can find your soulmate. Maybe you don't believe that you can have your dream career. And so you seek for things to validate that you're worthy of that. So I want you to start changing the narrative around these areas. Start bringing awareness and start becoming aware of when you're seeking for external validation, of when you're tolerating the bare minimum because you don't feel worthy, because you want validation. And then in that moment, validate yourself. Maybe you can start validating yourself on a daily basis by not running to your best friend as soon as you need to make a decision. Maybe it's complimenting yourself more often, compliment your outfit, your makeup, the way you look, your features, and make a habit out of this, because why not? And maybe you start validating yourself by telling yourself that you can handle the unknown, that you can thrive in what's to come, that you are capable of adapting, of learning, and just knowing your power, knowing that you're capable, that you're self-sufficient. I just need you to remember that you are more than enough just as you are right now. You have come such a long way, and I am so proud of you. So keep working on yourself, keep pouring in yourself, keep believing in yourself. Okay, my love, until the next time, see ya.